Hennie Kriel, proceedings. Thank you very much.
The Alters. For Alters, that was very short. I know in a long time. Thank you very much, Alters. Welcome here this morning. I really appreciate fellow coaches, and really something I always say, even if you learn what not to do, you also learn something. So feel free to ask questions. What we're going to do, the load shedding, the time is now shorter. We wanted to do a full training session, but I will guide them through when we do what I call a quality session, when they're going to run fast. And we wouldn't say we do all of this every day, but these are what we're going to demonstrate to you. Some of this might be new to you. So I've already asked him to do the feet massage. You will see it's only Ruan. Ruan's already in his 30s and still going great. I call him old school, there's nothing wrong with it. You would have seen when Ruan came here, he jogged around. You'll see this group, they haven't jogged. We don't do jogging here. Jogging is for people who want to do the comrades. So I've asked them to already do the feet massage. That's something they will do regularly, even at home. I will explain now why. So I'm going to ask them to carry on with the spiky ball, and what will be next after spiky ball for you guys? Alright, so you can start with the marble. I'll explain that now. I want boy Palu, you come here, you can carry on. So we spend a lot of time on about you have to build a base and everything. So over the years I've discovered my understanding of the base is different from what I've learned 35 years ago. First of all, we want to build a base of speed, but quite recently, after 3 years, and now made a step up with the feet. If the feet is not strong enough, the whole body is under pressure. A lot of stuff you see this morning, I do every day, at home, as often as possible. But we try to do it, show them what. Okay? People supposed to do this. Right? See what happened with the footbridge? Right, so important here. We need to be strong here. It's got a dive, got to hit every time. That dive collapses, not strong enough, the problem goes up. Thank you. The problem goes upstream. Every session should be to prevent. That should be your first priority when you set out a session, when you look at your athlete. Because when the athlete gets injured, they go backwards. So I've realized that most of niggle injuries eventually is because the other principle that I like to adhere to is we tend to follow a linear system, a linear programming. When they get injured, the work on the hamstring. That means begin where you need to begin in the beginning. In the sprinting and running, it's first. If the foot is not strong enough, the problem will be somewhere else. So that's very important. We do a lot of what I call the spiky balls, just to increase sensation in the feet. We do that. Come here and sort of jog around. Explain just jogging, not jogging. I won the World Junior Championships 2016. And I saw the Jamaicans and the American sprinters when they come here at the warm-up area. They sit down, they put on their spikes and they start doing runs. Amazed. So, but it makes sense to me. You see, we talk about warm-up. I need to skew. Why do you not? If I make you now, you're supposed to do it. 36.3 to 36.7. All right. At the hotel, they might have done some stretches there. I haven't seen them doing any stretches. They put this mics and they start. And we've been doing it since then. I was thinking about that. I started to introduce it, and that's thing. So you will see do any jogging. The other big reason for that is everything we do, we want arms, running techniques, sprinting techniques. And jogging is the worst thing that breaks down. You've seen those wickets. Get to that and I'll explain. That's our drills. That's our technique sessions on the wickets. Let me just see how far they are. All right, something new. Introduce quite. I was fortunate. I was fortunate to be in Europe for 2.5 months. I attended the Olympics. I attended the World Championships. I see a lot of things. Coaches, I will not tell you. But then I start to follow and search for info. And so I'm going to ask him now to use the PVC pipes. All right, let's see what they're doing. So the whole idea is to just stand on the pipes and keep your balance. Now Ethan is a little bit better already, so he started to do some. That is to again create sensation in the feet, but also make the feet used to movement. Very important here is not to use the toes to claw. So once they can stand, when the eventually start to roll, you can there's what you can do there. Later on you do a little bit of squats on it. Progress. Time explaining, not a theory session. But the big thing is the heel bone. The heel bone is supposed to move. And because we wear shoes a lot and don't train the feet, that ability is we've lost that ability. Let me ask you, what is the biggest invention in athletics today? Shoes, spikes. People realize what shoes are doing. It's got plates in that takes over this function, and that's why we are faster. There's no doubt about it. Huge increase in speed performances and also endurance performances. The shoes that made me think a lot, and I tried to find out what's the use of that. And it's to take over this function. So it just makes sense to me. If the feet is not strong enough, the injuries will come. And I can you've seen that finish, and she picked up all three a couple of weeks ago. I'm convinced that if we're going to make the feet stronger, we will have less of those injuries. All right, so you've done the PVC pipe. Skipping rope, you can do that. I'll explain why I like the skipping rope. It's also part of that. Without shoes, turn sideways, Ethan. Now important here, the heel should not go down. They will start with double legs, but eventually I would like them to do it single leg. And this is your warm-up. And again, I don't like, the warm-up is not a good term. I like to use the term, what do we say we do? Activation. Activation. It's activation. We don't do warm-up. We do activation. That's a term that's what we would like to do. And then you also see I haven't done any stretches. They might. We are not very fixed in this routine. not very fixed. Maybe you'll see it doing a lot of stuff. It's a bit. First of all, stretches will definitely not make you, if you want to use the term warm up, there's no movement. Alright, so if you do some dynamic stretches, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but we've got on our alternative days, we call days, we don't use mobility. We don't use mobility as part of the so-called warm-up. So the sessions we do mobility. Why? If you want to increase speed, three things. Three things increase speed. Strength, mobility, technique. This is for sprinters and hurdlers. Focus on those three areas. Many times ask me, rugby players, give me a speed program. I doubt if there's a program. You need to these three things, and then the always say to the sprinters, to the athletes, don't search speed, speed will find you. When things are ready, when the body is. So the skipping I like, it's part of strengthening the foot, it's part of ankle stiffness, which is critical in sprinting, coming out of the blocks. Don't go. Goes up. Again, we will do it every, but I'm showing you. Then the other thing is, give me one of those. Close to 40 years, 9 years of that in professional rugby. This little thing, you get the fancy ones you buy for more expensive, but they also last 1 to 3 months. This little thing and those wickets is the best I've discovered in 40 years of coaching, almost 40 years of coaching. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate what we do with this. Alright, you can carry on. There's different things. Sideways, forward, back, straight leg. Don't go on the toes yet. Just get yourself a space there. Just walk. We did a lot of this. I had a school group on one stage, and we would do 100 meters. Good success. Do it less now. We try to increase the complexity. Complexity means more complex than normal. Most of the things I try to incorporate, I always look at the complexity of the exercise. If it's too easy, it's not going to finish. Now what would make it more complex? First of all, doing it faster. At the end of the day, they are sprinters. They want to go as fast as possible from here. And that's complex. 100 meter sprinting is complex. Always say this, if you train the easy stuff, you're not going to improve. So to increase the complexity, you guys go on the toes. You go on the toes, do this, the walking. Now I picked this up in Delhi, the sprinter over there. She one day walked like this when doing this, and I thought about it and it made sense to me. So she taught me something. So we incorporated doing this rubber band walks with the toes up. Now you can see Caroline there. Do it again, Caroline, going forward or backwards. So this is not a theoretical session, but there is some theory in that. We've got two levers in the foot. One is here through the ankle, and one is through the ball of the foot. So the first one is a class 1 lever, the second one is a class 2 lever. So that's why we do less squats and those sort of exercises, because that is class 1 levers. which we don't use in sprinting. We use the class 2. You start in class 1 and move to class 2. But we have to improve the class 2 lever system. And that's why we do a lot of things on the toes, on the ball. Not on the toes, it's actually not correct to say it. Again, you have to read more about this and find out more. The foot has got two balls, like the big toe and the pinky toe, and the heel. So there's a triangle underneath the foot. And we use especially those first two, front two. Very important. So I cannot stress, if you haven't picked up information about feet development, it's a world that will open up to you. And it's not very difficult to increase daily, and then teach them to do it at home as well. We also place sometimes marbles here. Come, no, Bindi, come. Where's your marble? Right, in the meantime, you can do 1 or 2 easy runs on the wickets, and I will explain that now. Bindi, yeah. Put the marble in front. So, don't start yet. This is also something I picked up the other day, which made a lot of sense to me. We have to connect. We all know by this time that the glutes, most important muscles in sprinting. I spent 9 years in professional rugby, then I started coaching athletics again in 2008. And for the first time ever, I started hearing physios saying, "Oh, your athlete's glute is not firing. Glute's not firing." First time I ever heard that. Then I started asking them, how do we do it? Then I could see they're not sure. Some massage, whatever, but it keeps on to be a problem. So about 4 or 5 years ago, the penny dropped. The glute cannot fire if the foot is not ready. The brain is so clever. It will not allow the glute to fire if the foot cannot do the job. All right? Otherwise, that's why we get injured. Now the glute starts to fire, but the base is not strong enough, the niggles will come. I tell you, that is just a fact. You have to understand that. Now, and this is quite recently, I picked this up. How do we connect the foot to the glute? By this simple thing. So she's got a little marble in front of her, and she's taken with the second toe. And now she's just going to do movements. And you can try it yourself and your athletes, and they will tell you they feel different lines working. Just that. Just that. Why? Having that marble on the second toe. Okay, other thing? Right, Pindi, you can relax. So, I'm what you call a left-brain person, analytical. I have to work on my right brain function, which is more inventive side of the brain. So, the left brain, if you're a left brain coach, your planning will be very good. Everything planned. But you have to engage the right brain, because, listen carefully what I'm saying to you now. The roadmap is not the road. The roadmap is not the road. And then the other day I started using my right brain. The recipe is not the cake. The picture is not the person. The training program, it's not the training. The planning. Right, but you see, you use your left brain, you do the planning. But now you come here, something changes. You have to adapt. So the other day, see, my right brain starts to work. I saw this movement on a video that I bought, and we were doing, give me the marble, just put it on, just show them the activation exercise. So we use this a long time for activation as well, going sideways, 45 degrees, 45, go 45, good. And straight back. Right, so attention to detail is important to me. Don't go forward. Okay. So then I said, let's combine this. So you're going to take out the marble and do exactly the same. And the feedback I got from them is, yes, different lines working. You will be amazed how the brain now picks up the good and the foot connecting. And that's what we want in sprinting. All right. So, the 100-meter athletes, we want them to be as fast as possible. The endurance component in 100 meters is almost non-existent. On a good day, come here, league meeting, 100 meters done for the day. Championship, 100 meters, 3-4 hours later, another one. You tell me now, what's the endurance there? What's the use of them doing 10 whatever, 10 150s? So we don't spend time on endurance for the sprinters. 400 is a totally different ball game. Totally. There's a huge endurance component, and there's also a huge mental toughness, mental capacity component to 400. Athletes don't have it, they will not survive in that event. So I always say this, any fool can make another fool tired. I'm not here to make them tired. Sometimes they will be a little bit tired, but then it fits in with something specific. I've been through that. You know, you're feeling, if you them, they lie down there and some of them vomit a little bit, they feel good and you feel good. It's like tension. You feel good when you go, but they didn't bring anything to making them faster. So this is what we do instead of jogging. I want you to come with me. I want to show you what we're doing there. Specific what we're doing there. You can come with me. Right, when you're done with this, you can put on spikes. Right. Go that side. See, 12 colored. This is in a straight line. So there's 12 options. So this one is on I know this time, this one is the one. So the idea is for every athlete to know which line is best for them. You've seen Ruan just started with tackish on, running in this line. I can guarantee you when he put on his spikes, he'll go in the last one. So this is not my invention. Coach Anderson from Texas A&M, he's a guru with these things. This is very important. Rather too short than too long. In sprinting, we never want to overstride. You don't want to hit the floor in front of the hip, as close as possible here. The idea is to be in the middle all the time. Right, Caroline? Come. So that's to get them into the rhythm. And we very seldom do drills. Very seldom. This is our drills. I'm not a big fan of drills. Drills is like a drug. When you go overseas to Diamond League and these, you see drills, that's amazing. You must make sure there's a carryover from the drill to running. Ethan, show me. You see it? Try again alt way. Yeah, just here. See if you can see what is the problem with this type of drill. Yeah. Can you see this one stage, both feet on the floor? Now you tell me how that's going to be. There's nothing compared. Okay, if you would do this, we'll do it this way. I not both feet on the floor at the same time and switch in the air. The switch must be in the air. Okay, let's see. Can you see the difference? And now he's into the position that he has as well. Heel, high knee. So the technique is very specific in sprinting. Don't ever tell the athletes to pick up their knees. It's not about picking up the knees. Although you want a high knee, how do you get that? By picking up the heel. Who gives you a high knee lift? Can you see? Why do we want a high knee? We want to apply force down. The only time you can apply the force that you have is the moment your foot hit the floor. Can you now see why feet strengthening the foot is important? Can you see why they're building the plates now, the carbon plates into the spikes? Is to get a faster reaction from the floor. So we spend most of our time here. We use this for warm-up instead of jogging. They're going to put on spikes now. They're going to do final phase of getting ready to sprint. And then Pendili came back from a slight injury. Her training session will be on the wickets today. We'll do 80 meters, but start here. Good position, as fast as she can and wants to run. So, some butterflies. Me on the track every day will say, I come here early. I know they don't like me because I take up 2 lanes here. Well, I've never stopped anyone ask me to use it, so it's yeah. But sometimes other groups come before me and then we go there. Because it's not my lanes, I also just a visiting coach here, coaching here. Is there any questions concerning this? Nothing. So, as I said, Coach Anderson from Texas A&M, he developed this. There's 12 different ones. Progressively, as you will see now, it goes further. So I just implemented like this. So I know the athletes. The girls, I know, I start at the orange. Now I'm in the second one. I've developed an eye for that. The moment they reach, I will move them back one. You'll see now the 2 male sprinters. Ethan will run here, but Kuchu will run here. Kuchu overstrides if he goes here. So definitely the speed that you run plays a role. Your leg length plays a role, but also your cadence. Some sprinters just have shorter steps. All right? I will, especially from the side, the moment I overstride, I move them one back. It's better to shorten the stride than to overstride. Overstride is not good enough. Het nie kon nou geloop. Nee, hy het my gesê. So I sometimes see, and Nico is one of the, I've said it in front of me as well, they put out one lane and they've got girls and guys running all, and the girls normally overstride. You see, and that's not a good thing. Now you think in your mind you're doing a technique, in the meantime the technique is going backwards. It's better not to do it than to do it wrong or badly. So one of the things, if you as a coach want to progress, coaching at a higher level, one of the things that is critical is attention to detail. And that's, if you're a right-brained person, it doesn't come easy. I know that. It comes easy to me because I'm a left-brained person. I struggle with other things. But you must get better at attention to detail. If your athlete's doing, the English got a saying, practice makes perfect. You know, it's not right. Perfect practice makes perfect. Practice makes permanent. So if you do it badly, wrongly, you teach yourself to do it like that. Okay, so attention to detail is critical. You have to be sharp on that and find out what is that detail. Why are you doing stuff? Listen to me what I'm saying. It's better not to do stuff than to do it bad or wrongly or the wrong stuff. Sometimes it's better for athletes not to come to training. If they're in a stress situation, exams, whatever, and they're tired, give them rest. Right, and this is what we do for technique. And I have to be honest with you, I very often get good compliments about The athlete's technique here. So Ruan, busy by himself, as I said. He's a much older athlete. It's another thing. If an athlete believes in something, leave them. The belief system is the best. Especially older athletes. But very important in that, you have to believe with them. Alright? So don't force them into something. If you coach younger athletes, it's easier. You can teach them. Older athletes, not always that easy. You hear them. I can hear when an athlete starts to run fast. I apply force. You have to apply force. When you want to hit a nail into wood, you don't apply the force on the nail, you apply it going down. Can you hear him? You can hear him applying force. Pause, wait. What else here? So it takes some time. I used to have a rope, and then again somebody else said, no man, I have 100 meters. It's easier to put out. I come here every day and put out. This is very, very important in our system.
Because I want to know if I can go.
Yeah, you can. But I would like to take your time. So 3 minutes and then you go. Okay. So Caroline. No, Caroline is more of a 200 athlete. This session today is 2 times 180. Let me quickly explain what we're currently doing. We've been through a general phase, we've been through a specific phase, and we're currently doing a pre-competition phase. We're probably not going to compete, but I try to go through phases quicker. And then after this, we're going to start again, general phase, specific phase, January, going into a pre-competition, compete from February on. So I like to go through the cycles sooner, quicker, 3 weeks, at most 4 weeks. I used to have 7, 8 weeks on phases. But I've read about this, but I've discovered it as well. If you stay too long on a phase, they will improve, stay there, and then go down. Again, depending on the athlete that you're working with. If you're working with younger athletes, you can do longer phases. More experienced athletes try to cycle your phases quicker. So we are in a pre-competition phase, so Caroline's going to do 2 180s with 25 minutes rest. She probably only will get in 1. The sprinters, I want you to come here and start doing rolling starts. 2 rolling starts here. You can do it 20 meters up the green cone.
Please just say that last one again.
What?
With 25 minutes rest.
Yeah. Because in competition, run 1 200 with a whole day rest. So now I'm going to give it 2 180s with 25 minutes rest. You cannot recover completely in 25 minutes. You cannot. So it's closer to 200, you're going to do 180. Okay? I don't like over distance a lot. The athletes, they do like it. What is the advantage of over distance? Training further than you compete. No, 400 is a different game. Yeah, even there I don't like over distance too much. I will tell you why. An athlete like Wenda, she likes 500, so I allow her to do 500s. She believes in that. Okay. Just something, Pindeli. Currently for this season, fastest woman in South Africa, 11:45. She started the season with a PB of 12.25. Used to follow a program of 300s and long stuff. She responded to speed work like this, dropped to 11:45. Yeah, and you can see she's a powerful athlete, okay? Over distance. All right, Caroline, where's Caroline? All right, I'm coming. She's waiting for me. I don't like over distance because your speed will be slower down from your competition speed. I like faster, right? Even in 400. So yesterday, the 400 hurdles had a session yesterday. 3 300s with 25 minutes rest. It was a tough session. 350, we do 350. Yeah. And then probably 2. Or 350, 300, 250, something like that. I'm just going to start. If you want, you can go to the chair. No. Okay. Turn. Which line? It open in 3. So I will normally take the time. They know their times, and I like starting with the whistle because then it's close to electronic times. I will do this. I'll be on the line, so the time's very accurate. This form of getting them ready for start is what I call a rolling start. We want the body coming out of the in position. Pindili will do a 3-point start or a 4-point. As I said, she just back from a niggle. You're going to do rolling start, Ethan? Okay. So on a qualifier today, we'll do 2 or 3 of those, 2 and maybe 1 or 2 box starts. We'll not do today. I want to show you the 90 meters. I will do 2 90 meters with about 12 minutes rest. Ruan, he's got a bit of an endurance session. He will do 9 hurdles, closer and lower. Why? Any coaches here? So, Ruan, bit of old school, he doesn't like lower. He's not used to it. Also in our group is Rikenette Steenkamp, the South African record holder in 100 hurdles. She never ever trained with hurdles on the proper height. The first hurdle, yes. First hurdle is critical. And also always closer, maybe 1 foot, 1.5 feet. That's how you coach speed in hurdles, is to have it closer and because you'll be faster. There's more to it, but don't have time to explain everything. Don't wait for me. No, I didn't. You will see some of them, they put tape on the spike because they try to get low out of the blocks and they damage the spike. Sorry. I'm busy talking to the people. Ja, blocks. Kijk Ron, wat gaan je doen? Okay. So, alright, on blocks. Ron, very fixed. As I said, he's already 34. He's very fixed. I don't try to change him. He knows what's working for him as well. Set. So, I try to do it in competition. On box, wait, because the competition, there's now somebody that will see everything behind the line. It takes time. So, attention to detail. Keep it as close as possible to what's going to be expected in competition. Must be honest, if I have to evaluate myself, I think one of my strengths is attention to detail. Just have an eye for something. I'll be busy here and they do something, I'll pick it up like this. I raised 2 sons. They always say the day when they take my want to wear that now. Any questions?
Hoe sal die rustyd vir die 400 wat jy nou gepraat het van general preparation fight? Hoe sal dit?
Ja. general phase, specific phase, competition phase, different. All right, different. In general phase, we train better in specific phase. In specific phase, we train to be better in competition. Okay, so rest will be less during general phase, but I coach 400 hurdles. So both those events, it's got two parts. First 100 and the second 200. If you want to go 50 seconds, and this is just a theory, if you want to go have an athlete running 50 seconds, it's not 25-25, it's 24-26, more or less. The better the athlete becomes, the closer that 2-second gaps will be. But 2 seconds is normally the difference between the first and the second. So, around 50 seconds needs to go through 24, which means that athlete will be at least at a 22.8 to 23 seconds 200 athlete. So we're talking about speed reserve. The gap between your fastest 200 and the one you want to run cannot be too close, otherwise you tire too soon. So you can work it out. For a woman to run 50 seconds, they need to be a sub 23 second 200 athlete. Otherwise they will struggle. And to do that, they need to be a low 11 seconds 100 meters athlete. So you see speed. Wade showed the world. When he runs sub 10 seconds, he broke the world record in form. Endurance is a given. Must have the endurance. But if the speed is not there, you cannot do it. You cannot maintain a speed that you cannot reach. You see, speed endurance, yeah, it's important. But you cannot maintain a speed that you cannot reach.
Can you do with an event run in the 400, for instance, in the beginning? Event run.
What?
Event run is, for instance, your first 50 is flat out.
Yeah,
Then
so
you coast and then
if you understand energy systems, the first 5-6 seconds is purely ATP, PC. You can burn them coming out of the blocks, but then you cannot carry on. You have to gradually go over into a more relaxed fast running. 400 hurdles. Never train this part when you're tired. You're not going to be tired reaching the 200. I don't like the hurdles there. The rhythm should be easy. Never train second 200 when you rest. As easy as that. So once you come home in 26 with a PB sub 23, so 26 is slow. But when you're tired, it's tough. So the session I like for that is 6 200s at high coming pace for that athlete 26 with a 200. The first one is easy. Normally, and if it's too fast, I'll stop them because they will not make 6. I help them. So the first one is easy. Come there, easy job. Second one, easy. Third one, starts to work. The last, tough. If they can do 6 200s, so a girl or a guy wants to run 50 seconds, they can do 6 200 in flying 26 seconds with a 200 jog, their endurance is good enough to sustain. Okay? So you have to understand the difference between the rested 200, fast rested first 200, and tired, high-coming 200. Don't mix those things. I have a session for 400 hurdles where I mix it. It's a great session. The first 150, they blast it. Turn back, walk 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute over the hurdle. And all the hurdles are, it's the closest you get the feel of the home hurdles here. But in the second set, I will not do it on the because they're tired now. I will just do a flat 150, 150 hurdles. Don't mix your first part and your second part. I do sometimes 100 hurdles, which they will be, they have to have the, because it's a changeover, they will change the so you have, right, who's next? 30 meters. On your marks. You can go together. Good show. You can go together. Don't let them run together. I found it over the years. It's a good thing that they run together. You have to get used to. They know each other so well, and obviously some of them are a little bit better than others, so I don't want to, in training, give them the idea that you cannot beat this guy. So it's just a personal thing.
But actually, in a way, it
definitely good advantages together. I just work like that. On your marks! So Ruan's ready for a 9 hurdle. And I will show you. I will ask him how much it is. He does it himself. Hoe laat is dit? Moet het klaar maken. Sit! Where's Pindy? How many have you done? Right. He's doing on the wickets 80 meters. Right? They normally do the rest. So I try to teach them from day one to make their own decisions. I don't decide. I know school athletes is given. But yeah, I, for instance, give those training in this group. He came from a long time. So, this year there was a 60 meters in Boksburg, end of February. I said to him, I think you should run. He said, do you think I'm ready? I said, I think so. He said, okay. He ran a 6.53 that converts to a 10.06. You see? But I allowed him to make that decision. Right, roll. Okay. Surf nader. Ja, maar hoeveel voeten nader van die regte merk af? So what he's doing from the north, he said 2.5 feet closer each hurdle. So the first hurdle is 2.5, that's 5, 7.5 closer, and this is the junior height. So the philosophy here is this: if you want to go 13 flat, all 100 hurdles, the split should be 1. If you split 1 second, it gives you the possibility to run 13 flat. So what we're doing with Ruan, at this distance, he will be close to 1 second. So when he touched down in the first one, last one, I give his time. So let's see what he's going to do. Okay, this is right for you. Kom om na jou kyk. Ritme. So Ruan tends to force easily. He's an aggressive type of runner. It's 0-0. Exactly 1 second. So that's how we got to this measurement. So the moment he can, in a session, consistently hit this, we'll add half a foot. You see, so progressively. Why is this important? So he just got the feet to run. His is 0.3 something. But he just did 9 hurdles, getting the feeling to run 13 flat. So, Brian, you know, if you run fast on the hurdles, that hurdle comes quicker to you. So it's a great thing. Well done, 8-0-0. You do 2 of these with 12. What's next? Now you can go for a 90. Accelerate to blue, maintain to orange. Good show. When you're ready, you can do a 90. Okay. Okay. You next. Yes? You want me to start you? On your marks. So what he's going to do is he's going to accelerate until the blue. From blue till orange, he's going to maintain, not keep on forcing. It's to teach him to, and there's a subtle difference. It's a subtle difference. You see, we try to train fast as often as possible because they are sprinters. That's their sport. But it comes with risk. Session, 2 runs, and that's it. So, you see, we do a lot of these field work. We try to combine stuff. There's not enough time, and I mean, we sometimes train twice a day. On a quality day, they will do their strength work in the afternoon. So the next day will be a recovery day, much more relaxed. A lot of mobility work, a lot of recovery work, not running. If we run, it will be slow, wicked runs. Ready? Pindi, then you, boy fellow. Ron, that was great. I expect her to go at least 11-2 this season. And if she can start running those times, she's closer to sign what we call a shoe deal. Going to make money. All right? 11-0 definitely she can sign a shoe deal. So currently this is on kit sponsor from, but it's nice. But you need to become a professional athlete, earn money. Signing a shoe deal where they pay you, that's where you want to be. Alright, who's next? On your start. Yeah, start. Set. Before this, 2 weeks ago, we had 3 90s with 8 minutes rest. You see, and then we moved to 3 with 10 minutes, and now we have 2 with 12 minutes. That's the progression. So with the 3, we might do the last one with a walking start, because the block starts takes a lot out of them. And it's also up to them. They will sometimes tell me if I can feel I'm a bit flat, then I will not. I don't like them to do block starts when they're feeling flat. Yeah. So speed session today is just running fast. It's a quality session. We did speed, but we easy. Right, we're going to start wrapping up because I have to clean everything. The meeting is going to start. Any questions? Do you think is that resistance training? So let's say for a sprinter doing 220, 250. What do you think is the advantage of that? My mind is that's our advantage. It gives confidence.
That's all. You don't tell them that. You never seem to tell them that. You just over distance.
But athletes use. So what I found is getting athletes from the more established schools is more difficult to coach them because they're used to overtraining, volumes of work, getting pushed, and when there's underperformance here, they say, oh, we're not training hard enough. I find it very often, and some of them leave. The athletes for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and I'm talking world-class athletes, consistently per year, athletes doing the best in my training group is the ones doing the least. Gift Lotela reached the semi-final in the Olympics this year. They ran a 994. If I have to tell you what they have trained, you will not believe me. You will not. 6 days in because he picked up a niggle going there, 0 sessions. He might have done better. But you see, he's that character. He doesn't get concerned. He just one time said to me, Coach, I haven't been training. He said, you don't worry. So it's easy. He's good with that. Wenda not so good with that. If she cannot train, it's tough. She's used to train hard. You have to coach her like that. So they are all different. Right. Right, we'll do one more run. Let's see if Ruan can improve on his 800. He's a very complex character, which suits hurdles. You need to be aggressive in hurdles. To psych up. Now when he's psyched up, he will start hitting hurdles, and then he will get frustrated. Can't run a PB at age 32. Shuffle. Go! Ah, bad hurdle. 8-0. Second last. The other thing is it's difficult. Dog nutrition. Any last questions? Will be so if you want to come check. Thank you for your time.